Have you ever caught yourself quietly wondering, do people still notice me? Am I still attractive as the years go by? It's a tender, private question so many women carry silently in their hearts. As time passes, it is completely natural to reflect on how the world perceives you, especially in a culture that often places so much emphasis on youth while overlooking the quiet, powerful beauty that comes with maturity. We live in a world filled with images of perfection, where beauty is frequently measured by smooth skin, endless energy, and the illusion of never changing. But there is a deeper kind of beauty that cannot be captured in a photograph or measured by a number. It is the beauty created through experience, wisdom, resilience, and the story written across your life. Here's what you truly need to hear today. You may be far more captivating than you realize. There is a certain confidence that develops when you have lived through seasons of change, when you have faced disappointment, rebuilt yourself, loved deeply, lost something meaningful, and continued moving forward. Something shifts within you. Your presence begins to carry a depth that cannot be manufactured. It is not the confidence of someone who has never struggled. It is the confidence of someone who knows they can survive whatever comes next. Many people spend years chasing the kind of beauty that receives immediate attention, but the most unforgettable people often possess something much more powerful, a sense of self. They are not captivating because they are trying desperately to impress others. They are captivating because they have become comfortable with who they are. Maturity has a way of removing the unnecessary layers. It teaches you what truly matters and what no longer deserves your energy. You begin to understand that your worth was never determined by how quickly someone noticed you, how many compliments you received, or whether you fit into society's changing definition of beauty. The most magnetic qualities often come from places that have nothing to do with appearance. A person who listens deeply, speaks with kindness, carries emotional intelligence, and understands themselves creates an energy that people remember. A youthful appearance may catch attention for a moment, but character creates a lasting impression. There is also something incredibly powerful about someone who has stopped trying to prove their worth. When you no longer seek constant approval, you become more authentic. Your conversations become richer. Your laughter becomes more genuine. Your presence becomes calmer. People are naturally drawn toward those who are comfortable in their own existence. The truth is, maturity does not take beauty away. It transforms it. The beauty of youth is often connected to possibility, but the beauty of maturity is connected to understanding. It comes from knowing your values, recognizing your boundaries, and appreciating the journey that shaped you. Every challenge you overcame added another layer to your story. Every difficult moment taught you something about your strength. Think about the people who leave a lasting impression on you. Often it is not because they looked perfect. It is because they made you feel something. They made you feel understood, inspired, safe, or valued. Their beauty came from the way they carried themselves, the way they treated others, and the energy they brought into a room. You may not see these qualities in yourself because you have become too familiar with your own reflection. You see the small changes, the imperfections, and the things you wish were different. But others often see the bigger picture. They see your warmth, they see your strength, they see the wisdom behind your words and the kindness behind your actions. Sometimes the world teaches people to fear aging because it focuses only on what changes on the outside. But growth is not a loss. It is an expansion. You are not becoming less valuable with time. You are becoming more complete. The most beautiful people are not those who managed to stay exactly the same forever. They are those who allowed life to shape them without allowing life to harden them. They carry their experiences like precious pieces of a story, not as evidence of what they have lost. So if you ever find yourself questioning whether you are still captivating, remember this. Attraction is not only about being seen, it is about being felt. A person who has developed compassion, wisdom, confidence, and emotional depth possesses a kind of beauty that grows stronger with time. You are not competing with a younger version of yourself. You are becoming a more authentic version of yourself, and there is a quiet power in that transformation. The world may celebrate what is new, but there is something unforgettable about what has depth. A person who knows themselves, values themselves, and embraces their journey carries a presence that cannot be replaced. Your beauty was never limited to a moment in time. It has always been connected to the person you are becoming. In this video, we're going to walk through several powerful signs that reveal you're a genuinely attractive older woman, even if you haven't fully recognized it in yourself yet. These signs have nothing to do with superficial charm or fleeting trends. They're rooted in energy, presence, elegance, and the kind of quiet confidence that only real-life experience can build. And what might genuinely surprise you is just how many of these signs are already quietly unfolding in your everyday life right now without you even noticing them. Stay with me until the end, because once you start noticing these small signals, the way you see yourself and how men respond to you can shift in a beautiful, empowering way. And I want to say this clearly before we even get started. None of what follows is about seeking outside validation for its own sake. It's about finally recognizing what's already true, so you can stop dimming it down out of habit. Let's dive right in. The first sign worth paying attention to is this: younger men seem naturally at ease around you. One subtle but genuinely powerful sign that you're an attractive older woman is when younger men feel relaxed and comfortable simply being in your presence. You may have already noticed this without giving it much thought: the easy, flowing conversations, the barista who lingers a moment longer at your table, the co-worker whose face lights up when you speak, the friend's son who suddenly pays closer attention whenever you're around. These aren't random moments at all. They're clues, quiet signals of comfort, genuine interest, and admiration. Younger men are instinctively drawn to women who carry calm energy, emotional depth, and a graceful self-assurance that a lot of people their own age simply haven't developed yet. You don't need to prove anything, dominate a conversation, or put on a show. Your quiet strength, your ability to truly listen, to speak with warmth, and to remain composed under any circumstance makes them feel genuinely safe around you. They laugh at your jokes, ask for your opinion, and lean in, not just physically, but emotionally too. And that's the real power at play here. When a man feels emotionally at ease around someone, he opens up. And when he's open, attraction has room to bloom naturally. It's one of the simplest, most overlooked signals there is, and yet it quietly tells you everything about the effect your presence has on the people who cross your path. The second sign is this: you often find yourself receiving compliments on your appearance or your personal style. This one might catch you off guard a little, but if people, especially men, frequently compliment your clothing, your haircut, the way you carry yourself, or even the scent of your perfume, it means you're leaving a genuine impression on the people around you. As women mature, their sense of style tends to evolve into something that truly reflects who they are as a person. Maybe you've refined your wardrobe over the years into something that feels distinctly you. Maybe your hairstyle finally suits you exactly right at this stage of life. Maybe your perfume lingers in a way that feels warm, inviting, and genuinely unforgettable to the people around you. None of these details happen by accident. They're signs of a woman who values herself deeply, and men absolutely notice this, even if they don't always articulate it clearly. A well-dressed woman, whether she's in an elegant dress or a perfectly put-together casual outfit, carries a certain air of intention with her. It isn't about being flashy or over the top. It's about being thoughtful. Your grooming, from the way you style your hair to how diligently you take care of yourself, tells the world something meaningful without a single word being spoken. You pay attention to yourself. You genuinely care. And when a woman clearly cares about herself in this way, men instinctively sense that she's capable of caring just as deeply about someone else too. It's a small thing on the surface, but underneath it, it communicates a whole philosophy about how you approach your own life. The third sign is this: men give you lingering glances. This particular sign is subtle, but it carries an enormous amount of weight underneath the surface. If you've ever noticed a man holding eye contact with you just a beat or two longer than what feels strictly necessary, that's not simple coincidence. That's communication happening in real time. Maybe it happens at the grocery store, in a coffee shop, at the gym, or just while you're walking down the street. You meet his eyes, and he doesn't look away right away. That small pause, that's attraction quietly showing itself. A lingering glance is honestly one of the oldest, most instinctive ways a man can express genuine interest in someone. He might never actually walk up and say a single word, but through his eyes alone, he's communicating clearly. I see you. I feel something when I look at you. I want to know more about who you are. And what draws him in isn't purely your looks, it's your entire presence. Maybe it's the graceful way you carry yourself, the calm way you hold your coffee cup, the steadiness in your posture, the warmth and kindness in your expression. That quiet, confident magnetism is what genuinely pulls him in. The glance was never just about appearance in the first place. It's about something much deeper, your essence as a person, the part of you that no amount of makeup or outfit could ever fully manufacture on its own. The fourth sign is this. People often come to you seeking advice or help. As you get older, you may start to notice that others, especially men, come to you for genuine guidance far more often than before. And I don't mean simple directions or small favors here. I mean real conversations, real emotional support. They ask for your thoughts on a difficult decision they're wrestling with, or they open up to you about something deeply personal. That kind of behavior isn't random at all. That's trust being placed in you. When people actively seek out your thoughts, your insight, or simply your comforting presence, it means they genuinely see you as steady, wise, and emotionally grounded. That particular kind of energy is deeply, quietly attractive. Younger women might bring excitement or a certain unpredictability into someone's life, but you carry something far rarer, lived wisdom. You've experienced love, heartbreak, healing, and real personal growth firsthand. You've nurtured people around you, built lasting relationships, and learned genuinely valuable lessons from your own struggles along the way. And that entire journey, that hard-earned emotional resilience, shows up naturally in the way you speak, the way you listen, and simply the way you show up for people. Men who are genuinely searching for something real, something stable and grounded, are naturally drawn toward that kind of strength. You don't react impulsively to things, you respond thoughtfully instead, and that quality alone is deeply magnetic. They're drawn to you not just for your answers, but for the sense of calm and centeredness they feel whenever they're around you. Being seen as someone who genuinely knows, not from reading a book or studying theory, but from actually living life, is one of the most quietly magnetic qualities a woman can possess. You become someone men genuinely respect and admire. And that kind of respect is one of the deepest roots that real, lasting love is ultimately built on, far sturdier than anything built purely on attraction alone. It's the kind of foundation that doesn't crumble the moment life gets complicated, because it was never dependent on surface-level excitement in the first place. The fifth sign is this. You carry a confident, relaxed presence wherever you go. You aren't chasing attention. You don't feel the need to be the loudest person in any room. And yet somehow people still notice you anyway. That's because one of the most genuinely attractive traits a woman can have, especially in the eyes of men, is a calm, self-assured presence. You aren't trying to prove your worth to anyone. You've already proven it fully to yourself, and that shift changes everything. That quiet confidence creates something genuinely powerful in the people around you, a sense of ease, a feeling of trust they can't quite explain. You don't shrink under pressure. You don't go searching for approval from others. You radiate peace, steadiness, and quiet inner strength, and you manage to do it all without ever having to raise your voice. That kind of energy doesn't shout. It whispers, and very often, that whisper carries far more weight than any loud declaration ever could. When you walk into a room with your chin lifted, your shoulders relaxed, and a soft ease in your steps, it sends a message that's genuinely impossible to ignore. I know exactly who I am, and I'm completely at peace with her. That kind of energy eases tension in a room, softens people's defenses, and earns instant respect without you ever having to ask for it. And for men, especially in a world so full of noise, chaos, and superficiality, that kind of steady, grounded, feminine presence feels like a genuine breath of fresh air. They don't just notice it intellectually. They feel it in their entire body, the way you feel warmth from a fire before you even see the flames. The sixth sign is this. You receive subtle compliments about your physical energy and overall fitness. This is something a lot of older women genuinely don't recognize in themselves. You don't need a perfectly sculpted body or the ability to run marathons in order to be seen as healthy and attractive. But if people, especially men, say things to you like, "You look amazing for your age," or "You seem so active," or even, "Wow, you really carry yourself so well," those aren't just polite throwaway comments. They're genuine clues. They're picking up on the discipline, the care, and the quiet self-respect behind the choices you make every day. And this shows up not just in how you look, but in how you actually move through the world, the way you walk with clear intention, the way you lift something with real ease, the way you stretch without any visible struggle. That isn't just physical strength, that's genuine vitality. And vitality happens to be incredibly attractive because taking care of your physical self was never really just about appearance. It's about energy. It quietly says, "I take care of myself. I'm fully present in my own life. I plan on showing up completely for whatever comes next." Men are deeply, instinctively sensitive to this kind of signal. A woman who respects her own body usually respects her mind, her time, and the emotional energy she brings into the lives of the people around her too. So when you walk into a space with good posture, fluid movement, and that unmistakable glow of someone who moves through life with genuine purpose, men absolutely notice it. And even if they don't always say it out loud, they admire it deeply, storing it away as one more reason they can't quite look away from you. The seventh sign is this: men genuinely laugh at your jokes, even the slightly silly or corny ones. If you've noticed that men consistently laugh at your humor, even when you personally think it's a little cheesy or light-hearted, that's not simply politeness on their part, that's real connection happening. Laughter was never only about being objectively funny, it's about chemistry between two people. It's about comfort and emotional openness. It's about resonance. You might say something you personally think is just cute or quirky, and he genuinely laughs, not necessarily because the joke itself was groundbreaking, but because you were the one who said it. Because humor, especially the playful, natural kind, is actually a sign of real emotional intelligence. When a woman can bring genuine lightness into a room, laugh easily at herself, and lift others up without relying on sarcasm or forced wit, it reveals something genuinely precious about her character. It shows she's grounded, she's authentic, she doesn't need to be flawless in order to be beautiful. Men are naturally drawn to women who make them feel genuinely alive, and laughter happens to be one of the most immediate ways to experience real joy. Even a silly or unexpected comment, when it comes from a woman who is warm, calm, and completely herself, lands deeply with the people around her. It feels safe, it feels human, it feels close. Because when you're not trying too hard, when you're simply being playful, kind, and honest, that quality becomes genuinely irresistible. And if you've ever watched a man truly laugh at something you said, his eyes crinkle a little, he covers his mouth, maybe he even leans toward you without even realizing he's doing it, then you've sparked something far more powerful than just a shared joke between two people. You've triggered real emotional compatibility, and that particular kind of connection is genuinely rare to find, far rarer than most people ever stop to appreciate. The eighth sign is this: you start to notice subtle flirting gestures directed your way. This one is the quiet crown jewel of the whole list, and it often takes a woman who's deeply self-aware to truly notice it happening. As an older woman, the flirting you receive today probably doesn't look anything like it did back in your 20s. It isn't loud or obvious anymore. It's graceful. It's layered. It's intuitive. He might glance your way more than once without meaning to. He may adjust his stance or straighten his shirt the moment he notices you looking his way. He may compliment something very specific about you, your laugh, your voice, the particular way you carry yourself through a room, or he might start subtly mirroring your posture. You lean to one side, and he does the exact same thing shortly after. You cross your legs, and moments later, so does he. That's mirroring, a subconscious, almost involuntary sign of genuine connection between two people. Then there's touch to consider too. Sometimes it's subtle, a hand that briefly brushes against yours, a light touch on your back, standing just slightly closer than would normally feel necessary. None of these are random accidents. They're primal, deeply instinctive gestures of real interest. And when a man is genuinely attracted to a mature woman, he often relies on body language to signal that connection entirely without words. A lingering glance, a smile that stretches on just a touch too long, A compliment followed by eye contact that holds a beat longer than expected, a hand resting near yours on a table between you. None of these are coincidences, they're quiet invitations. And when a woman is emotionally present and genuinely tuned in to these subtleties, she starts to realize that attraction is always speaking, even in complete silence, and that once you learn to hear it, you can never quite unhear it again. The ninth sign is this. He remembers the small, seemingly unimportant things you say. Have you ever mentioned something casually in passing, a story from your childhood, a favorite place you love, the specific way you take your coffee, and then heard him bring it up again days or even weeks later? That's not something forgettable at all. That's real emotional imprinting happening. That's genuine interest in the little things about you. It means he's actually listening closely because your words genuinely matter to him. He's mentally filing away small pieces of who you are, tucking them away like little treasures worth keeping. Why does he do this? Because he cares, and more importantly, because he's genuinely emotionally invested in you. This goes far beyond simple casual interest. It's a real sign that something about your energy made him feel a deep sense of connection, even if he hasn't fully put that feeling into words yet. It also reveals something even deeper underneath it all: respect. And in genuine attraction, respect is the quiet foundation beneath everything that actually lasts long term. When he remembers your favorite drink and brings it to you without even needing to ask, when he recalls your pet's name, your weekend plans, or a quote you mentioned once in passing months ago, he isn't just being kind for the sake of it. He's flirting through memory itself. And that's genuinely powerful because attraction was never required to be loud to be real. Sometimes it's soft, deliberate, and completely unforgettable, which is exactly why it tends to leave the longest lasting impression of all. The 10th sign is this. He actively finds reasons to spend more time with you. When a man is drawn to you, he doesn't always say it outright in words, but you'll absolutely feel it through his actions instead. He doesn't just accidentally stumble into spending time with you, he deliberately creates the opportunity for it. Maybe he shows up early to something he already knows you'll be attending. Maybe he offers to help with a task you could easily handle completely on your own. Maybe he starts genuinely taking interest in your routines, your favorite places, your hobbies, even the ones that are completely different from his own interests. None of that is coincidence. That's attraction being expressed through consistent presence, a quiet wish to be near you, to share space with you, to simply experience life's small, ordinary rhythms alongside you. He may ask to join you for coffee, offer to run errands together, or help out with a project that never really needed his help in the first place. But the real underlying reason is simple. He just genuinely wants to be around you. He enjoys the feeling of being near you, how you make him feel seen, respected, calm, maybe even quietly cherished. It's rarely a single grand gesture that gives this away. It's the accumulation of small, repeated choices. The fact that he keeps choosing your company over easier, more convenient alternatives. Time happens to be one of the most valuable gifts any of us can offer someone else. And when a man starts genuinely weaving you into his schedule, when he consistently shows up not just for plans, but for the small in-between moments too, it's a clear sign that he's drawn to your energy, not merely to what you say or what you do, but to who you fundamentally are whenever he's around you. That quiet effort, that intentional closeness, it's more than simple attraction. It's often the genuine beginning of something far more meaningful, the kind of thing that starts small and quietly becomes essential. So let's take a moment here to really reflect on everything we've covered. You've just moved through 10 powerful, meaningful signs that reveal you're still genuinely magnetic, whether or not you'd fully noticed it in yourself before today. And if there's one single thing I hope you carry with you after this, let it be this: your beauty, your worth, your presence, none of it is fading away. It's evolving into something richer. With every passing year, you've grown deeper. You've gained clarity, strength, softness, and a genuine sense of self-knowing that simply can't be rushed or faked. The world may try to convince women that real beauty only belongs to youth, but the actual truth is that genuine beauty lives in confidence, in hard-earned wisdom, in authenticity, and in grace. None of those qualities show up overnight. They're built slowly, through years most people never see, and that's exactly what makes them impossible to fake and so magnetic once they finally settle into who you are. Now take a moment to pause and genuinely ask yourself, how many of these signs have quietly shown up in your own life already? Which ones genuinely surprised you the most? Which ones felt like an honest reflection of who you truly are underneath all the everyday noise? And remember this above everything else. An attractive woman is never defined purely by her reflection in a mirror. She's defined by how she walks through the world, by how she makes the people around her feel, and by how deeply and fully she owns her own presence. And by that particular standard, you might be far more radiant than you've ever fully allowed yourself to realize. And maybe, just maybe, this message reached you on exactly the day you needed to hear it most. A day where you quietly questioned your own reflection, second-guessed your worth, or felt like the world was rushing past without ever noticing your presence at all. If that's true for you today, let this be your gentle reminder. Your value was never based on how loudly you shine. It's based on how deeply you glow from within. You don't need to compete with youth at all, because what you carry now was never something youth could offer in the first place. And that's not a consolation, that's simply the truth one more woman had to live long enough to fully understand.